Alright, so here are the 4 steps that you need for creating and using advanced parameter controls. So first step is to create a parameter control, which we have done already. Okay. So you use one of those approaches, create a parameter control. And then you have to expose the parameter control to the visualization. Okay. Very easy to do. And once you've done that, then that parameter can be used in any of the calculated fields. So if you create a new calculated field, you can use the parameter, and the value for the parameter will be set by the user, because the parameter will be visible in the visualization, and that is a default value, and the default value can be changed by the user. Okay? And then once you have done that, then the calculated field can be used like any other calculated field in the view. So these are the 4 steps, and of course the third step is optional, but that's where the power is. You would want to do step number 3. So we're going to use this methodology to create a line graph where the idea here is to give interactivity to the user. So we're going to let the user choose which measure the user wants to plot. Okay, and so we want to plot some measure, okay, a line plot based on time. So your order date goes here, and choose month as the order date. Okay, now the row that you want here is you want the user to be able to plot, say, maybe sales or profit, okay, and you want the user to make that choice. Okay. Now we can give the choice on order date as well. So let's for the moment, let's look at just 1 year, say 2015. Okay. Now, how do we give the user the choice of which dimension, which measure to plot? Okay. So we're going to create parameter. Okay. So we're going to call this select measure. Now we're going to use these measure names as a list. So the data type here is a string. Right? So measure name will be like sales and shipping costs and profit. So those are string values, and the allowable values are going to be selected from a list. So here you can go and add values. Like clicking there, so sales is one of them, profit, shipping cost. Of course, these should match what we have here. Okay, and so on. Okay. Now click OK. So now you have created a parameter, right? So that was our first step, create a parameter control. Next step is to make it visible. So you go and click here, and you have an option, show parameter control. So you click that, then the parameter control will be visible. Let's move it to this side. So now you see that the parameter control has the 3 values that we entered available for us to choose from. Okay. But now we have to make sure that this selection gets reflected here. Okay. And for that, we have to create a calculated field. Okay. So, let's see. Create a calculated field, and we'll call that select measure as well. Okay. So now we have to set up an if function. Okay. Now if then else function. So if the selection is such and such, then the measure value will be this, and so on. Okay. From the parameters, we are making a connection to the calculated field. So we go if, right, select measure, so which is the parameter. So the parameter that we have created. If that is equal to, now as you build the formulas, you see the items in the formula are color coded. Okay. So each type of item in the calculated field has its own color. All right, select measure is sales. Right. Then the field that we want to select is that. So the field is in orange. So if the selected measure is sales, then the measure sales will be put here in the calculated field. Okay. Now if that's not so, no, and for that we have else if there are only two possibilities, then you can say else do this, but we have three possibilities, so you have to go do another if now. Else if, again same, select measure parameter, okay, is equal to profit, right, then profit. Now, even if that is not true, so now we are at the end now, the third option. If you have more options, then you will have another else if. Okay. Else it is going to be the shipping cost field. Okay. Now we need to end this. So the calculation is valid. So now here is the parameter where the user will make the selection, and based on the selection that the user makes, then you select the corresponding measure, and that would be stored in this calculated field. Click OK. Now we have select measure is a calculated field here. Now if you bring that in, okay, so now whatever the selected field is, that is what would be plotted. Okay. So if you select sales, then sales will get plotted. If it is profit, then profit will get plotted. Okay. Now, which one? See, right now, if you look at the visualization, this is the only place where you realize that this is profit that is being plotted. But there is a way to, so go to title, and we can set up the title in such a way that whatever choice we make is included in the title. Okay. So double click the title, and now instead of sheet name, what we will have is time series plot, time series for, okay, for what? well, for, now you can insert the parameter. Okay, that's where we make the selection, right? You click that, then time series for whatever choice that we have made, that would be displayed there. Okay. And we can also okay, here is the year order date that we select from the filter. Click that, and you apply, and you see what the title reads like. So clicking apply to make sure that everything works all right, and then you click OK. Now if you make this filter visible, and you can select, okay, suppose you select 2 years, then you'll have the value represented in this fashion. Okay. So this is one example of advanced parameter where you create a parameter, make it visible, and use that parameter in a calculated field, use the calculated field in the visualization.